Under indirect tax, we are discussing your topic called Introduction to GST. IGST, if you have any input tax credit like 70, this 70 can be used. Under IGST, what happened? 12,000 you are supposed to pay. How much you have already paid? Hello everyone, this is your Adarsh sir, lecturing Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the session 5 of your topic called Indirect Tax. Under Indirect Tax, we are discussing your topic called Introduction to GST. Now, in the previous session, we have done 2 problems on GST. So these are the simple problems you are supposed to learn because your unit 1, it talks about only calculation of GST. Now, in the calculation of GST, you have topics like CGST as well as SGST. What CGST stands for? Like your Central Goods and Service Tax as well as State Goods and Service Tax. These are the taxes we have if you do any transaction within the state. Again, I'll repeat. If you do any transaction within the state, we call it as your CGST as well as SGST. Now, any transaction happens from one state to another state, we call it as interstate. Now, interstate comes under IGST, Integrated Goods and Service Tax. Now, in today's session, we will work out your input tax credit. How can we claim your input tax credit? We will work out today. Now, so your agenda is very simple. We will work out how do we go for your concept as well as your problems on GST. Now, you have 3 things. Now, before I start your problem, I wanted to explain you few things so that it will be useful while doing your answer. Now, you have 3 things. One will be CGST, SGST, and last one IGST. What are those? One will be CGST, SGST as well as IGST. Now, how do we calculate this? Now, just we are talking about input tax credit. We are talking about what? Input tax credit. What is input tax credit? Input tax credit means if you have done any purchases, the tax can be adjusted with your sales. For example, you sold for 1,000, tax rate is 10%. Assumption, normally your GST comes with 9 plus 9, 18%. But I just for simple calculation, I take it 10%. Now, on 1,000, 10%, it will be 100. Now, same thing, you have purchased before, purchase 700. On that, you pay tax of 10%, it will be 70. Now you are selling, your tax is how much? We calculated it is 100. When you purchased almost 1 month back, you paid around 70 rupees. Now, should we pay 100 rupees tax now? No. Why? Because already 1 month back itself, you have paid 70 rupees tax. Once again, I'll repeat, 1 month back itself, you already paid 70 rupees tax. That's why this we call it as input tax credit. Clear? Yes, this 70 we have to minus from 100, balance 30 you're supposed to pay. Hope you are clear. Yes, balance 30 rupees you're supposed to pay. 100 minus 70, 30 will be GST payable. This 70 we call it as your input tax credit. Now, why I'm talking about CGST, SGST as well as IGST means if you have anything in the input tax credit of IGST, if you have any balance here, if you have any balance year. In the future sales, you can utilize these things. How can we utilize? Like, you have anything input tax credit here, this can be used for this and this can be used for this. IGST, if you have any input tax credit like 70, this 70 can be used for SGST, this can be used for your CGST. Now, if you have anything in CGST, this can be used here and again this can be used here. Now, if you want example, I explain you the example also. Now, I'll go with an example. What is the example we have? Like, now, just imagine you have tax 10,000, you're supposed to pay tax. It is your CGST. You're supposed to pay SGST around 12,000 and you're supposed to pay IGST is rupees around 12,000. These are the taxes you're supposed to pay. I can call it as output tax. What is this? Output tax. These are your output tax. Now, what about your input tax? Output means tax calculated on sales. Output means what? Tax calculated on sales. Now, I'll go to your input tax. These are the taxes which are calculated on purchases. These are the tax which are calculated on purchases. Now, so I'll explain you this. Output tax you have 10,000. Input tax you have around 17,000 and like 13,000 and you have some 6,000. Like, these are the input tax you have. Now you are supposed to find out how much GST has to be payable. How do you calculate this? Now, output minus input is your answer. Output minus input is your GST payable. Now, remember, you have 10 lakh tax has to be paid. But how much you have input tax credit? Like, you have 17,000. This is already paid. This is payable. Now, you are supposed to pay 10,000, but already you have paid 17,000. Still, you can use this 7,000 later. Means this 7,000 extra you have paid. Excess you have paid. Clear? Yes. This is all about your CGST is over. Now, come to second one. 12,000 you are supposed to pay tax. How much you have already paid at the time of purchase? You already paid 13,000. Now you have paid almost 1,000 extra. Any doubt? So these are the paid, these are the payable. These are input means purchase. These are the output like sales. Now we'll come to last one, IGST. Now under IGST what happened? 12,000 you are supposed to pay. How much you have already paid? 6,000. Now the balance is 6,000 you are supposed to pay. Clear? Now you are supposed to find out what is the total GST payable. Now IGST, you know that one state to another state, SGST within the state and CGST within the state. Now you are supposed to pay still 6,000 tax. You already paid 1,000 extra. You already paid 7,000 extra. These are called as ITC, input tax credit, input tax credit. As I told you, if 6,000 has to be paid, he can collect from whom? He can even collect from first person. He can even collect from second person. How much he has to pay? 6,000. Collect from this person 6,000. What is this? CGST. We have collected from, because he already paid 7,000 extra, that can be adjusted for IGST. Clear? Yes. Now what will be your answer? Payable is 0. 1,000 already paid extra Out of 7,000, he has donated 6,000. What is the balance? Still, he has 1,000 paid extra. Clear? Any doubt you have? These are the tax calculation. To 1,000 plus 1,000, total extra paid is 2,000 extra. This is called your input tax credit calculation. Today we are discussing only the topic called input tax credit. Hope you understood. Now I'll go to the next one. The next topic will be like the same thing. I'll go with one more example so that you must understand better. Now I'll go with the second example here. In this, you have output tax like CGST, SGST, and the last one IGST. So how many taxes you have? 3. Which are those? Like CGST, SGST, and the last one IGST. Now you have output tax. How much output tax you have? Tax payable. Output means what? Tax on sales. Like you have 10,000 here, you have 15,000, and you have 20,000. Now in this, what happens? Now what is your input tax? Already paid. Input tax means already paid. Now in this, almost 5,000 you have paid already. In this, 10,000 you have paid already. In this, 30,000 you have paid already. What is the balance payable? This will be your question. You are supposed to find out what? Your input tax credit. As per this, 10,000 minus 5, still he has to pay 5,000. Now 15,000 minus 10, still he has to pay 5,000. Now 20 minus 30, he has already paid 10,000 extra. Again I repeat, he already paid 10,000 extra. So it will be what? Minus 10,000. These are excess paid by him. Now whatever 10,000 excess paid by him, so he can donate to this person. He can even donate to this person, because IGST can be used by SGST, it can be used by CGST also. Now remember, these people can donate to him, this person can donate to these two, but these two cannot donate each other. I'll go for the next problem also. Now in this, what happens? Out of 10,000 he will give 5,000. Out of 10,000 he will give 5,000. So this will be 5 minus 5, 0. 5 minus 5, 0. 10,000 we have utilized. This is also 0. Clear? These are the calculation. Example number 2. Example number 2. And this is your example number 1. Example number 1 and 2 we have completed. We'll go for the last example, third one in this. So don't mix up this. Now we are in example number 3. Just assume your output tax, like this is your CGST, SGST, and the last one IGST. Now CGST, SGST, and the last one is what? IGST. Now your output tax is like 12,000, means tax payable. This will be 14,000 and this will be 18,000. These are the calculations you have. Now in this, he already paid 20,000 tax. He already paid 20,000. What is this? Input. He paid around 8,000. Yes, not 8. Let it be 10,000 he paid already. How much he paid? 10,000 he paid already. Now, this person had paid 16,000. These are the input tax. Input means already paid. Output means payable. Now, out of 12,000, how much he paid? 20,000. 8,000 extra he has paid. Extra he has paid means he can donate to others also. Now, remember, he paid 8,000 extra. Minus. How much he paid? Out of 14, he paid only 10,000 means still he is supposed to pay 4,000. Out of 18,000, he has paid 16 means still he is supposed to pay 2,000. Any doubt up to this? Hopefully there is no doubt up to this. Now, we have done up to this. Out of 12, he paid 28,000 more. Out of 14, he paid 10, 4,000 less. And out of 18, he paid 16, 12,000 less. Now, who is the one who has paid higher? This is the one. CGST had paid higher. Still, he has excess of 8,000. Hope you are getting this. Yes, he has excess of 8,000. This 8,000 can be done what? It can be given to this person. It can be given to this person. Yes or no? No. Why? Because the logic is very simple. Your CGST, SGST, IGST. Remember, this person can borrow from this fellow. This person can borrow from this fellow. Clear? Yes. This person can borrow from this fellow. This person can borrow from this fellow. Clear? IGST, if there is a shortage, he can collect from SG, he can collect from CG. Whoever paid more, they can contribute to IG. Now, if these two persons have shortage, they can collect from IGST. If IGST paid, like see, he had 10,000 extra paid, he gave it to these two. Clear? He had 7,000, 1,000 extra, they gave it to IGST. Clear? Yes, but what happens? These two persons, they cannot interchange. This will not happen. If this person has extra, he cannot donate to SGST. If this person has extra, he cannot donate to CGST. Just assume or remember that these are enemies. They cannot share each other. These two can give it to IGST. IGST can give it to these two. But these two cannot interchange. Very important. While doing problem, you should remember this. Clear? Yes. Now, up to this, we have completed. Now come back to this. In this, what happens? The person who has paid higher, it is called ITC. This is the one person who has paid higher. Now, this 8,000, what happens? He can give it to whom? This person, pay him 2,000. This will be 0. Now, out of 8, I have utilized 2,000. Now, still this person need 4,000. Can we give? No, because these two persons will not exchange. Clear? These two persons, we call them as enemies. Even though he has 6 out of 8, he has donated 2. Still he has how much? 6,000. So, 2,000. He has still 6,000 extra money. He cannot give it to this person because CGST cannot interchange with SGST. So, this will be 6,000 extra, will remain the same. Next year, he can adjust, but second person will remain 4,000 payable and the third person will become 0. Clear? Any doubt? No doubt. So, these are the 3 examples you are supposed to remember. Clear? Example 1, example 2 and example 3, all about your ITC calculation. Clear? ITC stands for Input Tax Credit. Very good. I'll go back to this. Yes. So, these are your example 1, example 2 as well as example 3. So hope you understood what is today's session. Today's session we didn't do any problem, but we worked out all the ITC, means input tax credit calculation. Remember, your IGST can give it to CG as well as SG. Your CG and SG can donate to IG, but CG and SG cannot interchange. That is the logic you are supposed to remember. In the next session, we will work out 2 problems on this concept so that you will understand much better when we do with the numbers. Thank you.